Hello, everybody. Okay, so today is Tuesday morning, and I just felt like talking. So I've been thinking a little bit about my views and share them with you about AI. Although I've written about it in my Substack, and it's going to be a little bit of a chapter on my book. It is interesting because it is such a new thing, yet it feels like it's been here forever. So I know probably most of you have interacted with it. Some people are using it as a tool for programming and for making it execute prompts that are going to be supporting a kind of practice. That's what I would do. I've never been a real coder, but I can read code because I speak many languages, and after all, programming language systems is what AI is. So in a way, in order to use AI, it's like you have to learn a new language, and it's not the language of coding. The one that you learn is how do you want to interact with a machine that is being programmed to say or speak or produce images in a certain way, if you don't know how far their language skills are and who programmed the machine. So the language that is going to come out from the machine, it's not depending on you. Well, it is in a way. It is depending on your prompts and the way you ask, but what it is inside is already being programmed. So what I'm trying to say is this: like, if you don't know about something, like we used to do before, we would go to Google. I don't necessarily go to Google. I probably go further. I go to an encyclopedia, or I try to ask the right question that is linking to the question that is not so generalized. So because everything is being censored right now, so whoever's censoring whoever belongs to whatever, I'm not even going to call names, is going to be putting a censorship on the information that is supposed to be coming out from those search engines, and that includes AI, by the way. There are certain subjects that AI, for instance, doesn't want to talk about, or the search engine doesn't want to give you. So there's been a lot of censorship and control right now through all the digital media to let the information flow as it should, because at the very end, internet is free. As long as it is still a free tool, but it's been taken over by companies that are leaning towards one side of the political aisle or the other, and it's being used as a weapon. So AI could be also a tool for propaganda. Just think about the word propaganda for like 1 second. Propaganda's root comes from propagate. So what is it about propaganda? It is propagating something. It's extending the information and putting it out there. So if we don't understand what is the intention of that information, then what we're going to receive at the other end of the line could be misinformation or disinformation or whatever, but not the right information that you want. And how do you know what is right? So you see, we are left without the capacity of choosing by our own means what is it that we abide by. So this is all happening at a moment in our lives where a lot of the information that is coming out is quite deceiving. Yeah, that's the word. It's deceiving, and it is all has to do with the astrology as well. We're at the very end of Neptune in Pisces. Saturn is approaching the conjunction of the next year. Next year in 26, they're going to meet together, Neptune and Saturn, and they're going to start at 1 degree of Aries. They're going to start a new cycle. Every 36 years, there's this cycle that comes and goes. And what these cycles do, it's like the merging of the known physical reality with that which is all like source. So boundaries are non-existent. It's almost like penetrating the veil of reality in ways that could be fantastic, which is great. Art can be created, like all imaginative stories. Like for me, I was born with Neptune and Pisces, so I understand this energy very well. But because I understand it, I know that it has two faces or two sides to it, and I always choose every morning whether I want to have the fantastic or I want to have the concrete. So this is what's going on. There's no concrete reality at this point. Anything can happen. Anything can be real. And at the very end, you say, but what is real? Like, what is this? Is this a Truman Show or what? So yeah, yesterday, Facebook, I still use Facebook, believe it or not. I kind of go to groups there. I like the idea of the groups there. Although I also have a lot of groups in Telegram. Different way of communicating. And I was doing a comment on a post by somebody that I once knew in New York. He's from the arts cultural system. I don't know how to call that. But yeah, he belongs to a very particular kind of person, and he's a boomer. He's older than me. And he's complaining because he just went to a gym where he doesn't pay that much membership, but he cannot use the remote control to change Fox channel, and he's appalled by it. And then all the comments are like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like, people like if watching or listening to Fox News was the end of the world. And also, like, can't you just wear headphones and listen to something else? Like, what do you have to, like, go somewhere and change the whatever channel? I mean, it just sounds so ridiculous. So but what is interesting for me is to see the reaction of people being so between offended to hurt, like, oh, they're not paying attention to our needs, and so yeah, at one point I was like, hey, cool, you're given the opportunity to listen to the other side. Maybe you can learn about the state of the collapse that we're in, that the economy is like tanking, is imploding, that we don't have a leader leading the country, that the cackling lady that we have has no GPS, we don't know where we're going, and Congress is in, I don't know, vacation for another 3 weeks, and why not listen to some other news? Like, I don't know, I don't see a problem with that. And we're on the brink of WWW3. That means World War III, and not the internet. And so I get somebody else asking me, I mean, Monica, with all those conspiracy theories and your fantastic imagination, what the hell happened to you? And I was like, what? So I did write a reply, which I haven't seen if he has responded, where I'm not apologizing or judging or justifying my response, but I'm kind of thinking, what happened to me? Was there anything that happened to me? Or rather, did I take a stand, which I had never taken a stance before? Did I actually actively move towards a direction of inquiry? What happened to me in the last 4 years? What happened that is so different? Why am I different right now 4 years later than a lot of people who I've known for years are still in the same place? And I'm not judging that they're in the right or the wrong place, or I'm in the wrong or right place, because it has nothing to do with that kind of morality. What it's interesting is to see that when you allow yourself to be moved from one place to another, you actually change perspective. And there's so much stuff that is going to be new that you actually cannot help, in my case, but ask questions. Like, oh, what does this mean? What can I read more about that? Oh, this is different. I never thought about this. This is a different view, and so on and so forth. So that I'm not going to list the stuff that I listed to this person. But in summary, it's the last 4 years of my life, plus, because I've been doing inquiry all my life, but this is like a very concentrated kind of inquiry in the last 4 years that has led me to really question where I want to go, and that goes back to AI. Like, AI can be such an amazing tool, because it is through AI in the last almost close to 2 years that I came out, I have been questioning a lot my humanity, my mind, how incredible my mind is. And I'm not just speaking about my mind, Monica's mind, but the mind of human. We have been given this ability to have reason, but we don't use this logical part of ourselves. We use it to have opinions and opinions and opinions, and opinions are not facts. So people stay giving opinions without actually creating anything new. And I'm not saying that opinions are bad. Actually, when you have good opinions, that they are focused on something creative or constructive, I think that it's very valuable to have somebody who has that kind of vision and focus on understanding that there are certain things that are not working. So it's all about pattern recognition and saying, this is a little bit odd. Maybe we should change this. And this is what a lot of coders do. They have a very good logical stream running through their body and mind, and so they're able to recognize what is not working and then correct it and then try something new, and then that's the way you create code. So I am very interested in this kind of language. I'm very interested in all the things that I can build anew. You see, I'm an artist, so I'm always thinking about new technologies, and AI is like fabulous. For me right now, I'm actually I won't say too much, but I am in the midst of creating something with it. It could be very creative, not just for me, for a bunch of people. But anyway, so coming back to this, the power that machines have relies on the fact that they can be tools that we can use to innovate. That's the whole purpose of humans creating machines, so we can prosper. We can be, we can have more time for leisure while we have machines taking care of the rest. But what has happened is that we have allowed the machines to overcome our will, and we cannot function without the machine telling us what to do. Even those stupid prompts that you ask Siri or Alexa or whatever. I don't use this kind of AI at all. So I'm going to conclude with a question, really, because I don't have an answer. I'm still in that quest. It's like, what is the amount of programming that you have allowed yourself to impregnate your beautiful mind, and how much of that propagation has shaped the last 15 years of your life? And have you had any questioning in the last few years about what shapes your belief systems? And have you given yourself at all the time to question those belief systems? Probably be intrigued or curious to move a little bit from that perspective and see that whether what you are abiding by is actually what needs to be taken care of right now. Maybe you haven't seen another side of the landscape. Maybe you go that way and then you find out you don't like it and you come back. So it is very interesting that we are right now astrological. We have Jupiter in Gemini. So Jupiter is that who seeks knowledge, wisdom, and it's the pilgrim that gets on a horse or a motorcycle, whatever, or walking, and tries to look for him or herself, for their truth, by having the experience, having the journey, the seeker. And that seeker right now is in a place of curiosity. So there's so many things, there's so many different divergent paths that the seeker can take. But at this moment, in the next few weeks, is going to be presented with I would say, challenging aspect, because the square is challenging in the sense that it's creating a little bit of a crisis, because you can't continue to search something with that curiosity if you're not actually aware of the time and the structure that is needed in order to make something that is purposeful and wholesome. So if that search that you, or that which you're seeking is not connected to something that is more profound and more connected to your own idea of what God is, if there is a God in your life, then there's going to be a crisis that is going to come out and it's going to go, oh, all this looking for stuff is not making sense. So there's a little bit about the ability of understanding if things are making sense to you, and if they're not, can you stop, take time, Saturn, to see how you are creating a structure that is really helping you, supporting you, Saturn, in your connectivity to your own soul, Pisces. But at the same time creates a crisis or a question. So you are assuring yourself that the path that you're seeking for, Jupiter and Gemini, it's that which you started in December 2020 when Jupiter and Aquarius at 0 degrees met and started a new 20-year cycle. Remember, these two celestial bodies are what define culture, because they meet every 20 years. So we start a new cycle at the very end of 2020. You know what happened that year. And so a lot of our belief systems and a lot of our ideologies and what we were looking for were seeded that time. And in Aquarius, that meant that there was new technologies, new ways that we were going to be programmed, so to speak. New ways that we were going to be limited in our minds and in our knowledge that are just starting to be seen. So we are going to start seeing a little bit of a crisis. Like, are we listening to the news too much from this channel? Like this guy said to me, I question why I'm asking the other person to change the channel, you know? Are we allowing the new kind of technology, which is AI at this moment, to drive our lives in a way that it makes no sense at all? So that's the question I have for you. There's quite a lot there, and hopefully make a little bit of sense. And if I don't, that's my journey. Have a great week. And yes, the whole world is upside down, but guess what? It's always been like that, only that sometimes we're able to see it at the same side, and sometimes we are the ones who are upside down. Or we're the ones that are in the right position and the rest is upside down. So I'm an optimist, and as I wrote somewhere 2 days ago, as long as the sun rises every morning, I will have hope. Take care. Bye-bye.